Eh, feed the viewers. All right, I got something for 'em. Oh, by the way, hello viewers. Another beautiful day. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. It's Friday night. Let's see here. What do we got? See here. Valve issues a cease and desist to Counter-Strike Classic Offensive mod team after previously given approval, shutting down 8 years of development. Valve has issued a cease and desist order to the team behind Counter-Strike Global Offensive Classic Offensive after having previously approved the mod 8 years prior. In a lengthy statement published to the mod team Twitter account, or they say X, I like Twitter, the Classic Offensive team warns mod creators that they should reconsider how they see Valve as a company that benefits from community creativity while being able to shut down years of work without warning. Despite going through their defined process with which they can drastically change at any time, says here, Valve gave the project the green light in 2017 according to a timeline the Classic Offensive mod team created on their website. After years of little to no communication from Valve, in January 2025, the Classic Offensive app was rejected by Valve, with the only explanation being, "We found that your app is not a good fit for Steam." After that, the team worked to try and find out what Valve meant by Classic Offensive not being a good fit, reaching out to Valve to no avail. The cease and desist order came through just hours before the team intend to update the mod through ModDB. As we prepare to update via mod instead, the Classic Offensive team statement reads, "We receive a cease and desist notification from Valve Social just hours before launching. In follow-up communication, they clarified that releasing Classic Offensive would be distributing derivative content based on intellectual property, which is not permitted under the Steam subscriber agreement." It says the statement goes on to call out the narrowing conditions of what the mod based on Valve games are allowed on. In view of the Classic Offensive, the company current interpretation of what's allowed go against the culture around modding that Valve has benefited from for years, and Valve approved of the project in 2017. Then it says it's unfortunate for the mod team and those who were looking forward to Classic Offensive that Valve has seemingly changed its mind about what it wants to allow at the last minute, and it also puts into question other mods, particularly the recent reveal of our Counter-Strike Go Legacy project. And anything else on this? That is that. So somebody says Counter-Strike Go took 2.5 years to develop. You took 8 years to develop the mod for it. Meanwhile, the core game went defunct. Sorry for your loss, but that sounds like a you problem. And then someone said, "I would play this any day instead of the massive piece." Anyway, says, yeah, people are sounding. Valve probably told them what's fine and what isn't, and the modders didn't listen. Valve allowed people to sell mods of Valve games to be sold on Steam, so they are fine with the project like this, but everything has its limits, and I'm sure the modders didn't give what Valve said. Okay. He said, did they forget? Somebody said, did they forget that Counter-Strike itself started out as a mod for Half-Life? And somebody says, this needs outrage by us customers. One of their biggest money makers is Counter-Strike Go, a mod itself once, and how they turned their backs on mod makers. Maybe Valve need to do some more explanation on this. Was it too over the top, or did they went too far? Went like cross the boundaries of the unknown with this? That's the real question. But there's a video here, so let me see here what they have. Oh, I see what the problem is now. I think it's too bloody. It's too bloody. I think that's what it is. That's what it is. This mod explains everything now. Because if you remember, if I remember when Counter-Strike came out, it didn't have that much gore in it. Didn't have that much blood in it. I don't think it even did from the last time I looked at it. But I think this one went too way over the top with it, and I think that's what Valve got him on. Not look at it. That's too much. That's too much. That's too much. I see why Valve told him to take it down. I see why now. They went too far with the gore on this, based on what I'm looking at right now. You know, like because when you play Counter-Strike, it was never that bloody or gory. It never was. But they went. I think the modders went over the top with this. They went. That's what the problem is. The problem with this game is that it has too much blood in it. Because if you remember Counter-Strike when it first came out, it wasn't over the top with it. Yeah, you use weapons and stuff, man, but you went too far with it. Now that I look at this trailer, I see what the problem is now. That's why Valve took it down. They're like, nah, you went against their standard of gameplay. As soon as I click play on it, I see what the problem was. They went too far with it. It's too bloody. Look at that. I'm gonna leave the link in the description box so you can see it. It's too bloody compared to the original Counter-Strike. Yeah, that's what the problem is. They went too far with this. Yeah. Anyway, but that's my thoughts on the whole thing, though. When I looked at this, I'm looking at the comments, but I look at some of the comments and I'm like, okay, you're not giving me more context. But now that I see the video for this, I see what the problem is now. It's too bloody. That's what it is. Because the blood. Because when you hit somebody with a bullet, it's splattering all over the wall and stuff. So that's what Valve is mad about. I get where they're going with this. Anyway, but that's just my thoughts on the whole thing, though. Let me know your thoughts on this. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. They got 124 comments on this. Yeah, they went against because if for all you Counter-Strike players that's out there, you know that the game is not that yes, you use weapon to shoot and all that, but the amount of blood that will come out of the person, you know, Valve toned that down a whole lot. This one went over the whole top, went over the top. So yeah, that's why they got rid of it. They didn't like it. Anyway, I'll leave this video for y'all to enjoy, though. Nice talking to you people again. Crystal, Star Wars, Star Trek, Board, I'm gone. Peace.